On August 30th, 2025, a sudden flood disaster in Shanxi province escalated into an unprecedented major flood in northern China. This torrential rain swept through multiple provinces, including Shanxi, Hunan, Jiangxi, and Gansu, causing a dramatic surge in 11 major rivers. As a result, dozens of villages were swallowed by the floods, and several reservoirs and dikes collapsed, worsening the already dire situation. The disaster began on the evening of August 29th and continued into the early hours of August 30th. The intensity of the rain was almost unbearable, affecting millions of people from northern Inner Mongolia to southern Hunan. Meteorological authorities described this rainstorm as a once-in-a-hundred-years extreme weather event. The sky was filled with thunder and lightning, and the downpour was relentless, a natural warning signaling the immense threat of the disaster. Several cities and towns in Shanxi were submerged by the floodwaters. Rivers such as the Wehe, a tributary of the Yellow River, the Hehe in Gansu, and the Qinhe in Shaanxi all surged dramatically at almost the same time. In just 24 hours, the water levels of 11 major rivers in Shanxi, Hunan, Jiangxi, and Gansu surpassed the alert levels. Many rivers breached their banks, and torrents of water surged toward both cities and villages, devouring everything in their path. Roads in the cities, once bustling with traffic, were transformed into vast bodies of water. Shops, homes, and vehicles were submerged, and what had once been vibrant streets were now ruins. The rapid rise of the floodwaters caught many residents off guard. The Wehe, a lifeline for Shanxi, saw its water level break historical records on the morning of August 30th. Within just 3 hours, the water level surged from 20 meters to 26 meters, more than 5 meters higher than the warning level. The flooding swept away homes, farmland, shops, and vehicles, turning the city into a disaster zone. Many residents could only helplessly watch as the floodwaters surged toward their homes, their eyes filled with fear and helplessness. As the provincial capital of Shanxi, Xi'an experienced record-breaking rainfall during this storm. Meteorologists noted that the rainfall was the most severe in 50 years, reaching historical extremes. The city's underground parking lots were flooded, and vehicles on the streets were left floating on the surface of the water. Once thriving commercial districts now resembled floating debris and foam. In Jiangxi, Hunan province, the situation was equally grim. The heavy rain did not stop, and many low-lying areas were quickly submerged. The city's drainage system was completely overwhelmed, and multiple major roads were completely submerged, bringing traffic to a halt. The streets, once bustling, turned into vast lakes, with citizens relying on temporary bridges or inflatable boats to escape. Firefighters and volunteers worked tirelessly on the front lines, racing against time to repair the dikes, pump out water, and even use boats for rescue operations. In the face of this disaster, the residents of Jiangxi found their daily lives almost completely paralyzed, relying on government and social aid to cope with the calamity. Similarly, Hefei in Anhui province was severely impacted by the floods. Several important rivers in Hefei surged, and water overflowed onto the streets, causing massive urban flooding. The city's drainage system was overwhelmed, with some areas having water depths of up to 2 meters or even more. Residents were forced to use kayaks, rubber boats, and other small vessels to escape. Local governments and rescue teams worked around the clock, focusing on dike repairs, evacuating residents, and distributing resources to address potential secondary disasters. In the face of this natural disaster, every rescue worker and volunteer became a hero in the battle against the flood, standing their ground and never retreating, even as they built sandbag barriers to hold back the rising waters. As night fell, the floodwaters showed no sign of receding. Whether in Shanxi, Hunan, Anhui, Jiangxi, or Gansu, the floodwaters were becoming increasingly violent. Governments across the affected regions ramped up efforts to coordinate relief, urgently mobilizing manpower, materials, and rescue resources. At the same time, they issued the latest post-disaster warnings. Due to the breaches in dikes and reservoirs, floodwaters continued to spread, and many villages and towns faced the threat of secondary disasters. The situation in Shanxi province was particularly dire. Due to the massive surge of the Wehe River, many nearby villages and cities were trapped in severe floods. Residents were forced to move to higher ground, waiting for rescue. Despite the tireless efforts of both local governments and citizens, the urgency of the situation made each step forward a struggle. The water levels fluctuated daily, keeping everyone on edge, with people fighting to stay alive in a battle against the rising waters. Meanwhile, the meteorological authorities continued issuing warnings of more heavy rains, which added additional pressure on the ongoing rescue efforts. The floods across the country have not only brought immediate disaster, but also triggered deep reflections on our disaster prevention systems. As climate change accelerates, extreme weather events are becoming more frequent. Improving flood control capabilities in cities and villages and enhancing residents' emergency response skills have become urgent issues for both the government and society to address. In the face of this disaster, unity and resilience became the backbone of everyone involved. Whether rescue workers or ordinary citizens, all showed extraordinary courage and determination in this disaster. Every drop of sweat, every effort, is a contribution to the battle against this calamity. People from all over, along with rescue teams, joined forces to combat the flood, laying the groundwork for recovery and reconstruction in the aftermath.
绝对高。
While this flood disaster has caused tremendous losses for countless families, it has also sparked a collective effort and resolve from the people across the country. In the face of nature's wrath, people understand that only through unity and unwavering determination can we hope to rebuild and emerge stronger.
And neighborhoods.
现在这种长呢，这个暗器这个瓦了，暗器这瓦子很长的，估计它垮。
Thank you for watching. If you found this report helpful, please remember to like,
comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss future disaster updates. Some visuals in this program are for illustration only and not from the actual scene. We'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned, and most importantly, stay safe.